Welcome to the Monsters of the Gridiron podcast.
Welcome back. Shout out to the squad in the chat. What's up, fellas? Finally, we're back.
Samuel?
Man, it's been a while since we've been back, but before we get started, I want to talk about we lost a good one, about a good guy that we lost, and Chris Washington. Everyone who just saw that video to begin, if you are familiar with Counterclockwise Productions and Chris Washington, you already know what it is. He's probably the best to do it in this DIY podcast space. He's done a lot for this network and many others. We unfortunately lost Chris a couple weeks ago. And, we just want to, send our heartfelt condolences out to him and his family. And man, it was extremely unexpected. I'm trying not to get a little choked up about it because Chris was my guy. And if any of you ever had the opportunity to engage with Chris, then you know what it is. The guy is a real genuine guy. Love the Bears, man. Extremely talented at what he did here as far as the production thing goes. And I'm even found out that he's more talented as a musician on those keys. So I know services will be held for Chris tomorrow and on Saturday. So everyone in the chat, I'm just asking you to, send some prayers out to him and his family as they go through this. And for us too, as we're going through it as well. Chris, we're going to miss you. We're going to definitely hold you up, brother. Keep your legacy going. This video isn't going anywhere. That intro isn't going anywhere, man. And we're going to represent for you, this season and forward, man, because we know how passionate you were about these Chicago Bears, man. And I just hate that you're not going to see us, be here to see us progress into the next era of Chicago Bears as they try to right the ship right now. So I'm just going to ask everyone for a quick moment of silence, man. Let's do minute. We get a moment of silence for 1 minute for Chris, starting right now. Appreciate that, everyone. We can go forward. Rest up, Chris. You're watching down on us, good brother.
Great words, Samo, boy. Great words, man. To echo them same sentiments, man. That just to sit here and reminisce after the many conversations that Chris and I had, tomorrow's truly not promised. So that's why I tell everybody, tell your friends, tell your loved ones every day you love them. Like, let them know that you're there for them mentally, emotionally, financially, however you can assist. It's hard in today's time to find real, genuine people, and Chris was a real one. So, we definitely want to keep doing this in his honor, and just keep blessing him and blessing his family and supporting his family, because, when you go through times like this, it's definitely difficult, when something like this just hits you so abruptly. So, like you said, Chris, I know you're looking down on us. You're going to be our guardian angel daily. And hopefully these Bears they get a Super Bowl so they can make you proud while you're smiling down. So, like you said, bless up. Love you, love your family, love this family that we've created. You know, it's a beautiful thing, and we'll continue to do this in Chris's honor. So, man, let's get started, boy. Like it's been a whirlwind. Like you said, Samuel, it's been a minute since we've been on because everybody's been busy and again, it's been a lull of the off season. But you know, now with Hard Knocks and we got the schedule, you know, now it's time to get excited again. OTAs have started, and you know, I know they're in shorts, but Caleb has been throwing some pinpoint balls at least today anyway. You know, I know he had a rough time in the first 7-on-7, but you know, I think he started to adjust to the speed coming from college to the NFL. And I think today was a great point where I guess you could call it a contested catch between Tyreek Stevenson and Rome Odunze, but I think that's going to be a tag duo that we're going to really enjoy in the next 10, 12, 14 years. And the beautiful part about it, we get to see these guys grow together day one. You know, when you really think about, you know, seeing all this hype that we got, and again, Hard Knocks, like, you know, it's good that we'll get this insight, but I just don't want it to be a distraction first and foremost. But I know a lot of people have been clamoring for it because it gives you all that insight and the detail that, you know, in most cases you wouldn't get to see. But man, I just feel like this year we had the opportunity to do something special. What you think, Terry?
Yeah, I think, man, I think you were spot on. For the Bears to be one of the oldest franchises, and for us to finally get an opportunity to be on Hard Knocks is phenomenal, honestly, because I don't think that it's been a long time since not only Bears fans has been excited about Bears, but the NFL has been excited about the Bears. Hence the reason why we're going to London this year as well, you know. And I think the Hard Knocks was it's a marketing tool as well. So you're trying to get people to be excited about the Chicago Bears along with you don't have to really sell the Jacksonville Jaguars because they go over to London quite often. But this is a good selling point. So I like what the NFL did with that and choosing Chicago as the Hard Knocks. But I'm at the Hard Knocks. But I'm gonna have to be honest with you, man. I am excited. If we could take and match that same energy within the season, no telling where the Bears are going to be. So I'm excited.
Walt, talk to me, Walt.
Yeah, definitely, man. I'm really excited for Hard Knocks. I was hoping for that this year. You know, we can finally dispel all this this narrative that Chicago is not the football city that we make it out to be. You know, we can show them firsthand now. So there's that. You know, you're talking about the Caleb Williams pass today. And unfortunately, that's something we haven't seen over the last couple of years with Justin Fields. Love the man to death, but you know, those two guys, that window was tight, and he threaded that needle perfectly against the top corner. So just imagine what he's going to do in the regular season with more seasoning under his belt. And just one last thing about Caleb Williams last week. You know, you're going over the first 7-on-7. It's good we see that he's failing, or I don't want to say failing, but he's struggling. Because if, you know, the Bears put out everything is all sunshine and rainbows, then maybe there might be a problem behind the scenes that we're not seeing. But at least they're being real this year. So I'm good with that.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, man. Caleb is he's going to struggle some against a top 5 defenses, man. You know, we have one of the top defenses in the NFL and one of the best secondaries in the NFL. I want to say probably the best, if you ask me, on paper. Yeah. So if he doesn't struggle against them, then he is that generational dude that we all thought he was. But hey, it's going to take some time for him to become that guy. I do think that he could be that guy. And I think that, you know, that defense is going to drive him to become that guy. They're not just going to lay down and allow Caleb to be that generational talent coming into the league, which I'm happy to see that they're going to push him, which is going to make him better coming into the season. And, hey, the thing I loved about that play earlier, though, was the separation Odunze had.
Oh, yes.
Stevenson. I'm yes. I want to see the run. I want to see how he was a few steps ahead of Tariq, man. And we all know that Tariq is a good corner. Tariq made an effort to try to reach around and hit bat that ball, but he had no chance because of the ball placement and the length of Rome Odunze. So man, it seems like it's going to be a great combination to watch for the next 10, 20 years, man. We never know how long these two guys have played together. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited about this Hard Knocks thing. Will, I understand your sentiments that just as other people have about it being a distraction, but I'm hoping that the team embraces this, man. You know, you're gonna have to embrace the light at some point in time. Like you want to be in the spotlight. That's where you're supposed to be at your best, in the spotlight, man. And this is gonna make you become a professional. You know, you're gonna have to lock in, but at the same time, you know, recognize the marketing opportunity, like T Spain said there, man. This is a marketing opportunity not only for the Bears, who need to move out of this nostalgia thing that they have going and, you know, start to appeal to a younger audience, man, and people around the league. As far as, you know, we here in Chicago, you know, we have some fans that are spread out, but it's all a lot of older fan base. You know, we got to come out of that now. And I think Caleb is the right player to help us do that. And we also have a lot of other good players, man, who are not only going to be able to showcase their talent, but they're gonna be able to market themselves, and they need to recognize that opportunity. We saw what Chad Ochocinco did on this. He was the first. When I was telling my girl about it, she was like, "Well, what is that?" I was telling her, "Oh, I'm gonna show you what Chad Ochocinco did on it, you know, and let you see, you know, how he marketed himself and how he became a phenomenal marketer, you know, a phenomenal brand. He branded himself." Using that platform. And I think that players have to recognize that as well, man, and embrace the light, you know, lock in, remain professional. I think Caleb, you know, is going to force him to lock in, and just like it will the rest of the team. So I'm excited about it. Can't wait to see it. What is it? August 6th is the first episode, man. There's so many storylines I want to see. We'll get into those later on. I'm sure we'll do reaction shows right afterwards. That'll be something good for us to do. I'm sure there'll be a lot to talk about after each of those.
Yeah, and to your point, Samo, quickly, if you're going to put the cameras on any quarterback the Bears have, you want a guy like Caleb Williams. He's used to kind of like that hype.
Yes.
So, you know, there's that. And there was a good article I found a while back from somebody from the Dolphins production team of Hard Knocks. And, you know, he went off, I wish I saved it, but I didn't. He went off and said that a lot of the shots that we're seeing in the show are taken from, you know, they're in a separate field. They're not actually on the same practice field. So they're trying their best to keep the production size down and also not interfere in terms of the regular structure of how any team does their way. So, you know, that's good. And let's not forget, too, these guys are playing in the NFL. They're surrounded by media 24/7, basically.
Oh, yeah.
So this is nothing for them.
Oh, yeah. I definitely agree with that.
No, you're spot on. And like I said, Caleb, like his personality, like so far, he's handling it pretty well. He says the right things, very professional. So a lot of the things that we heard, you know, while he was at USC, you know, it seems to be either a bunch of fallacies or it was just a lot of empty rhetoric that wasn't true or didn't have a lot of validity to support and or substantiate, you know, what we was hearing. So, you know, now being in this business, it's easy to see why people would throw dirt on someone's name or try to bring the value down so they could be slotted somewhere else so somebody else can have a better shot to get them. So it's like now knowing that and seeing that, it's like, okay, got it. Like he's coming in, he's been a professional, he's learning. Like he said, he's going to let the veterans teach him, he's going to lead. And the best way to lead is to follow, especially making that transition from college to the pros. And thus far, he's doing a great. Like, I'm excited because when I look at, I think this is the best skill set players we've had since Brandon, Alshon, Martellus Bennett, and Forte. So we didn't even have a third receiver when both of them were here. Bro, now our number 3 receiver technically could be a number 1.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, look, I'm looking at everybody we play. We'll get into it when we do the schedule predictions. But the two things I'm looking at the defensive line, everybody we play, and I'm looking at their secondary. And I'm telling you, Lord, as of right now, it's realistically out of maybe 3 or 4 teams that we play that have both of those in unison, you know, with some dog, like the Texans, they got some dogs on the line. Will Anderson, and Danielle Hunter. But then they got Stingley and a couple boys back there at safeties and corners that can match up with the pass rush. It's not, the 49ers, there's not a lot of teams when you really look at it that have, and that's because like our defense is going to show up. I don't see nobody on our schedule that should realistically put up 30 on our defense. I don't see it. Not saying that it might not happen, but I don't see it as of right now. As of May 30th, 2024, I don't see it. Swift, talk to me. What you see, Swifty?
Hey, man, I'm still kind of talking about Hard Knocks, man. I think that's the thing. That's the biggest thing on everyone's mind right now. We'll get into the schedule in a minute, but I've seen a lot of negativity from fans. I feel like a lot of fans, Samo touched on it a little bit. We do have a lot of old school fans. I'll say that. I'll say I can see the majority of my subscribers on Swift Sports are they're guys over the age of 60. We're a little bit of an older fan base. Got a lot of guys who might be a little bit hesitant to be on Hard Knocks. You're like, it's going to be a big distraction. The points I like to kind of push out there are we were going to have to be on there sometime, no matter what. The show started, it was either 2000 or 2001. It's been over 20 years, going on 25 years. Chicago Bears are one of the biggest franchises in the NFL. We've never been on the show. So I've said all along, I felt like they were going to force us on. We've been the talk of the NFL offseason with the number one pick, most important franchise in Bears, or most important offseason in history. We traded for Keenan Allen, made some big-time moves in free agency, traded away Justin Fields, landed Rome Odunze and Caleb Williams. So we're at the peak of our NFL like marketing height right now. And I just felt like the other teams they could choose from when the NFL came down to was the Bears, Broncos, or Saints. Who's trying to watch the Broncos?
None of those excite me.
Neither one of those teams have anyone exciting.
We're biased. I mean, we're Bears fans, so we're biased. But even as an NFL fan, you don't hear any of the NFL when you turn on Good Morning Football. Will talked about this before the show when he was chatting it up with Terry a little bit. When you turn on any kind of NFL broadcast right now, they're talking about the Bears. You don't hear anybody talking about the Broncos or the Saints right now. They're like, oh, what's Sean Payton doing down there with Zach Wilson? Like, what's going on? No. But on top of that, we have a huge, huge fan base. Millions and millions of fans, and we're the talk of the town. You knew we were going to be on the show, so let's get it out of the way, is my point. Let's get it out of the way before we are serious Super Bowl contenders, because what I see going on in the future is this is a team that right now we have some expectations, but Caleb's still a rookie, so no one's putting Super Bowl expectations on us this year. If we come out and have a good year going into next year, in the next 4 years with Caleb on a rookie contract, what is there to say that our Super Bowl window isn't wide open? So let's get this training camp edition of Hard Knocks out of the way. Let's get an up-close look at what Ryan Poles is doing different, how they're developing Caleb Williams, and I think it's going to be awesome. And we get it done before the season starts as well. Like, we get it knocked out during training camp, because that was the other thing. If we weren't on this, the NFL could have said, you know what? Let's put the NFC North on the in-season training camp. And then we have cameras in our locker room during the season, which to me is a much bigger distraction than training camp. So to me, it's not a big deal. And we're going to get to see something we've never seen before in the biggest year ever. I think it all goes together to add to our excitement. And when August comes, we're going to have every Tuesday night a Bears show to watch. They're going to be an hour long this year. They're a little bit longer. So we're going to get a little bit more unprecedented access. And then we have preseason games as well, which we have an extra game, because 4 days after Hard Knocks kicks off on August 6th, we have the Hall of Fame game on August 10th. That's going to help August go by a lot faster for Bears fans. So I think we're going to be excited. I'm excited about this. What are you guys' thoughts overall? I see Terry. Terry looks like you got something to say over there.
Man, listen, I almost did a cartwheel in my chair just a second ago, but honestly, this is an exciting time to be a Bears fan, man. I know all of us are Bears fan, and we we went through a lot. You know what I mean? But as you said before, Swifty, I think we had to have been on Hard Knocks at least one time. We're one of the oldest franchise, and for us to, like I mentioned before, to be going to London this year, and we got the Hall of Fame game again. And one of the reasons why we have the Hall of Fame game, not just because of Devin Hester, is because we have the most Hall of Famers in the NFL out of any team. So they look at all those things in consideration. The Bears have the most Hall of Fame players. So I'm excited about this year. I think I know we're going to get into the schedule, what have you, and I know they don't want to put a lot on the rookie, but the good thing about Caleb Williams, and we've seen this even from draft day, he walks in with a moxie and an attitude that you need as a quarterback, and he can embrace it. I mean, you went to USC and you won the Heisman, you know, so it's not like he came from out of Utah and they won 6 games. You know what I mean? He the camera, everything was in his face. He was the NIL king, NIL guy. He was everything. So I'm glad that we have the veterans that we have on our team, because when he did struggle, they didn't let him hold his head down. You know, when you got DJ Moore and you got Keenan Allen, they can say, hey, young man, let me talk to you for a second. I know you're a rookie, but you're going to have these moments. That did wonders for this young man. And so I think the best is yet to come for him.
Yeah, and I got to point it out here. Cliff corrected me there. Hall of Fame game is August 1st. That's
Yes.
right. Our second preseason game is August 10th. So we're going to have a preseason game. Then we're going to have Hard Knocks. Then we're going to have another preseason game. It just adds to the level of excitement for me.
Yeah, because I think Hard Knocks last year fell before the Hall of Fame game, if I remember correctly. And another thing, too, guys, let's not forget, the Bears are always doing those 1920 football lane videos. It's no different than Hard Knocks. It's no different. So, I mean, all I can say to the people out there being negative right now, being real negative right now is just this. The wheels of history have turned. Get over it.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Walt, you couldn't say any better than that.
And Terry, it lets me know that George has totally embraced what Kevin Warren and Ryan Poles are doing.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't have a choice, quite honestly.
Well, in the past, look, he's always kind of blocked it, but now it's like he's being more open and receptive to, like you said, the new opportunities. Because this is great marketing, especially for the younger fan base.
Yes.
You know, I know you got the legacy fans and you know, the older fan base that have supported the Bears for 20, 30, 40, 50 years, sponsor partnerships, things like that, who are a little bit more conservative towards things. But at the end of the day, now it's like, look, you know, we want to have that same access to the different fan bases now that are diverse in the way they think. So giving them insight to something that they normally wouldn't have seen, because, again, we're the oldest charter franchise. Like you said, the most Hall of Famers. So, you know, logically thinking, it makes sense to allow us to finally be previewed, because guess what? We have something to be excited about. You know, we got the hottest talent at the quarterback position since Andrew Luck. So that needs to be previewed. It needs to be endorsed at the highest level, acknowledged at the highest level, because all it's going to do is increase what? The overall valuation and value of the organization. It's going to give us something as fans to be excited about, because we're getting all this content. We're getting access to we're getting visibility to it, from Hallis Hall to everything at Lake Fork. Like, we're getting full accessibility. And that just draws us closer as we get near the season starting. So, like I said, I'm amped up, pumped up. You know, I know we plan on going to a bunch of games. We're getting everything organized, how we're going to approach this thing. So, like, look, I think this is a great time to be a Bears fan, but it's also a great time because when your team is relevant, it makes you feel better about the season. Like, you know, the worst thing I hate is when the playoffs start, we all sit on the couch together and everybody texting me like, man, bro, like, I told you they was going to be trash this year. Think about this, guys. It's 2024. We have been to the playoffs. We went 2018, but since 2018, when we're in the playoffs. Before then, I think 2010.
2010, then what? The Super Bowl before that. So,
Right.
so during the stretch of when Hard Knocks started, we've made the playoffs 3 times. So you can't tell me that, you know, that's the distraction that we need to be worried about. We need to be worried about the team and you know, the talent on the field and how they're going to be coached, man. I agree with everything you just said, Will, man, as far as, you know, the NFL absolutely endorsing the Bears, it seems like this year. You just talked about 3 anomalies this season. We got the Hall of Fame game, we're going to London, and now we have Hard Knocks. You know, if that's not a stamp of endorsement, and if that doesn't say to you that the league believes in Caleb Williams, that he's going to be this superstar player, and, you know, because the NFL is about the quarterback. We all know that. That's the most marketable player on the field, and the league is getting behind him, man. The schedule also says that the league wants the Chicago Bears to be good, and they want Caleb Williams to be successful and him to be the face of this organization. And, you know, because it's going to not only add revenue to the Bears, but for the entire NFL, man, because there is that shared revenue, man. And, you know, you get more TV dollars, you get the Bears on more primetime games later on if you have a good player in Caleb Williams and an exciting player and that generational talent that we all think that he could become. You know, I'll say that he can become. So embrace it, Bears fans. Let's not, you know, poo-poo on that. Be excited, like Swift said. I'm excited to see what goes on behind the scenes at football.
Yeah,
For real. I mean, I
And
think
you know what, Samo, real quick, last thing. Just look what it did for the Lions. Right? You think anybody cared about the Lions before they were on training camp? Nah.
Yep.
that's
Now
a
look at
great point, Walt. And
Great
that's
point.
one thing I've heard fans say is I've heard other Bears fans, even on the video I just dropped right before we started this, some of the first comments I saw on there were, I don't watch. People were saying I don't watch Hard Knocks, so it doesn't really get to me. Well, why would you watch Hard Knocks if, especially some of these guys who are diehard Bears fans and they only watch the Bears? They don't watch Jets games. They don't watch Panthers games or Lions games that aren't against the Bears. So, of course, nobody expected you to watch the show that's not on the Bears. The point is, your team is on there now. So a lot of Bears fans are going to watch it. And to the ones, I know some people are like, I'm not paying for HBO. I don't want to watch that. But there's another thing. Guys like us, Sam already said it. After every show, we can get on and kind of tell you what happened. And you're still going to get insight and news and things that we can't talk about normally because we are not there and we don't get to see it. We're all going to get to discuss and have a take on it afterwards as well. So, yeah, we're going to have to do a Tuesday or Wednesday night show every week talking about the show because there should be, in an hour-long show, there should be a ton of good stuff that we get to see. So I'm super excited about that.
Oh my. Like you said, it's going to make that off season go by so much faster because there's going to be so much more content and so much more that we can just talk about that we'll be able to see. Like the player, I'm just so excited to see the players, man, their personalities. You know, I want to see guys fight for their position. You know, and just, man, it's just so much. I want to see body changes, man. I like to see it myself. You know, we don't all get the opportunity to go to training camp. Now you can see, we knew how players looked last year. I always like to pay attention to, you know, a rookie after his first off season. And did he come in looking a lot stronger and a lot bigger? You know, if his body composition changed a little bit, then and how that's going to translate to his play on the field, like all of that stuff I pay attention to. Like you said, not only Bears fans are going to look at Hard Knocks, but football fans. Some people are just avid football fans, and I think those are the people who just really take to Hard Knocks and just, you know, who are really maniacal about just taking in everything they can as far as football goes in the NFL. So, hey, it's going to be good. And like I said, it's going to bring Chicago a lot more fandom moving forward. So let's just be excited about it and not worry about what could happen as far as, you know, the distractions. Let's just be excited about it and embrace it. It's like we're embracing all the other changes that have come at Halas Hall. Let's just embrace this and move forward, man.
100%. And we'll get off of Hard Knocks with that. I know some people out there don't even care about Hard Knocks, but I did want to add that perspective and why I think it is going to be really exciting. What we're going to do after this is we're going to quickly go over our expectations. Way too early for the season, but we're going to give our win-loss predictions. Everybody here, I'll start it off and then I'll throw it down to Samo and we'll go counterclockwise here because Will said I'm going last. Will's going last, okay? So I'll start it off, but we'll show the schedule real quick so everyone can see this, and I can pull this up at any time if anybody wants to see it as well. I've already mentioned week 1. It's going to be a lot tougher than people think. Week 2 is tough. We start out with a pretty tough stretch, but it eases off a little bit, and then it really gets tough the last 6 to 8 games of the year where all of our division games are. We have the 49ers game, the Seahawks game kind of shoved in there with our 6 division games. That's a home stretch that's going to be tough, but I think even with the rookie quarterback this year, with all the talent on the roster, with the changes we've made to the coaching staff, with the schedule we have in front of us, I see 10 wins as extremely realistic. And last year I was putting 10 wins as like, hey, not realistic. Realistic is 6 to 8, but we can get there. We could get to 10 wins if things went right. And you guys saw it. If a couple things would have went right last year, we could have won 10 games. We didn't, but we could have. This year, I think 10 wins is much more attainable, and that's right where I'm putting our win total at to start the year. I think it's a conservative approach. It's not throwing it out the window, but it's also something that is very attainable and something that this roster, I think, can accomplish. I think 10 is set. My man Immortal just said it there. 10-7 is very realistic. I think obviously if you can go a little higher than that, if they can win 11 or 12 games, that would be insane, and this entire fan base would be lit. But I think 10 games is a great starting point, and that's where I'm going to start it off with, and I'll pass it on down to you, Samo.
I'm absolutely with you. I think 10 games is definitely winnable. If you look at that first 9 games in the first 10 weeks, man, I say that we can win at least 6 of those games, man. I think we can win 6 of these games in the first 10 weeks. 6 of those games are winnable out of those 9 games. I think I see possibly 3 losses in there. I think, yes, the Titans aren't going to just lay down for us, but I think defensively we're strong, and I think offensively we'll be able to pull up enough points to win that game. Week 2 is going to be tough. Week 3, they won't lay down for us. We'll have to fight for that game, but I do think we'll come out going against a second-year quarterback in Anthony Richardson. You look at week 4, that's going to be a tough game that could possibly be a loss. Week 5, that's a dub. Don't even worry about that. 6, you look at week 6, that's going to be a hard game depending on, what Jaguar team shows up this year, and also the travel could be hard on the Bears. We don't know when they're going to leave and all that stuff, but that can go either way. But those last 3 games against Washington, Cardinals, and what we had, the Patriots, I think we should win that. That should be a 3-win stretch right there, man. We should be hitting the ground running at that point in the season, coming out of the bye week. We should win all 3 of those games. And then we get into a little bit tougher part of the schedule where we'll face our division opponents. We split with our division opponents. We win 6 of those first games, and that puts us at 9 games. Then we beat possibly the Seattle Seahawks, where we win an extra divisional game. That puts us at least 10 wins, man. I think this season. That's just how I'm looking at it. I think that is very attainable this year. I think the league set the Bears up to be successful this year, man, and have not only an opportunity to be good, but an opportunity to compete for the division by, not giving us any divisional games until after week 10. That gives us an opportunity to get all cylinders firing before we have to really get into the real meat of the schedule, I feel like. I'm with you, 10 wins, 10, possibly 11.
What you got, Walt?
Yeah, I got to echo 10's probably the most realistic view that we have. I mean, even like you said, Swifty, at the beginning, last year, I think 6 myself was what I was shooting for the whole time. So, I made out good with 7. I'm fine with that. The only 2 out of the first 5 weeks, the only 2 games that are more than likely, I wouldn't say guaranteed losses, but are going to be real tough is week 2 against Houston and then week 4 against the Rams. So you're going to have to deal with that. In terms of divisional games, we lucked out having them later in the season, especially with a rookie quarterback and a new offensive coordinator and system. You're going to give him enough time to get used to what's going on and terminology, play calling, etc. You're going to let the units gel together, which is another, big thing that we didn't really see last year going into the preseason. And it paid, it came to bite us in the ass in the first couple weeks of the season. So there's that. In terms of games like Seattle, I don't see them as they're going to be a tough game, but it's Seattle. Who cares? Minnesota got a couple good players in Dallas Turner, who's one of my favorites, and even JJ McCarthy. But we whipped them last year. I'm not worried about them. And even Detroit got better, but we got better, and we had their number both those games. Should have won both those games. Mm-hmm. But sometimes the coin flip goes the other way. So 10-7 all day.
Love it. What you got, Terry? I know you've been holding on. You didn't want to go first, but Terry's got something in the bag. Yeah. Man. I can see it in his eyes, man.
Yeah, you know what? At the beginning of the show, I had 10-6, but I actually, looking at the schedule one more time, I think the Bears are gonna go 11-6. I'm looking at the schedule, and one of the things that I had to take in consideration is if we, depending on injuries and how much of a spark we come out with, but I honestly believe that we can start off 3-0. I'm not intimidated by the Rams. Like, I know a lot of people say it's going to be a tough game, but I'm not really sold on the Rams. You know what I mean? I think we got to take care of the teams that we are expected to win against, like Carolina and Jacksonville. They're kind of used to traveling overseas, so a lot of people give them the advantage because Jacksonville is actually staying another week in London right after they play us, so they're gonna have 2 back-to-back London games. But coming off that bye, we can definitely beat the Commanders. I know they have a young quarterback as well, and but they're still trying to figure it out with their team. And Arizona's the same way. But I believe, I like that the divisional games are at the end, because I honestly believe that the Bears will probably have a clean sweep in the division. They're trying to make a statement because the Bears have been the laughing stock for quite some time in our division. Even though last year we should have beaten Detroit twice, and Detroit realizes that. They know they should have lost those games. But I think the Bears are saying no longer, hey, we're here to stay. We're here to like our GM said, we're here to take the North and never give it back. And I believe that's what the Bears are trying to do. So 11 games for me. I believe the Bears are going to win 11 games this year.
And then it's the man, Will Wright. He looking grumpy over there. He's ready to watch the Timberwolves tonight. I know Timberwolves. To me, that series is over until they come back, so I ain't even going to talk about that. But Will, what are your thoughts on the Bears 2024 season?
Right now, I got to go on 13-4.
Yeah, 13-4.
13-4. Like I said, if they get through that first 10, let's say 9-1. Because I'm looking at the Titans. I got that as a W. Texans, I got that as an L, but that could be a W. Colts W, Rams W, Panthers W, Jags W, Commanders W, Cardinals W, Patriots W, and then we get to the Pack. We beat like what Terry just said. If we sweep the Pack, I think we're gonna sweep the Vikings and the Lions. The only teams that really concern me, like I said, would be the Texans, the 49ers. And then if somehow like a Seahawks, which I don't think it'll happen, but it's the NFL, so we can't count that out. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, realistically, and I'm being conservative, and this is with no injuries. If everyone, the receivers, the line, if everybody stays relatively healthy, and we don't have issues like Braxton Jones going out for 4 or 5 games, and Nate Davis and Tevin Jenkins, if that doesn't happen, I'm saying 13-4, gentlemen. And potentially with a ceiling of 15-2. Because coming out the gate, if Caleb gets hot and he sustains that, and the defense is operating at a high level, man, it's lights out. Like, we got too many matchups that we'll be able to exploit if the ball is coming out on time the way it's supposed to be. And we know how Shane Waldron likes to run his offense. So unless
whose man is this?
Hey, the only reason I temper my expectations a little bit, man, is because we've experienced Luke Getsy in the past where You know, we had those high expectations for the offense coming into the year, and then things are just coming slow. You know, the offense is just not playing together. Either the offensive line isn't playing well and allowing the quarterback to play well, or or we just didn't have the weapons. I feel you, Will. I feel you. Like,
I
want to go there with you, but man, that's what's scaring me. So that's what's caused me to pause.
Come on, baby, you gotta rock with the boy. You gotta believe. If you can't believe, you can't achieve, baby. Let's go.
And Terry made a good point too. Like we should beat the Rams. I looked at it. It's an afternoon game. They got to
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So we should hand them their asses.
Hey, so
Yeah.
I'm very analytical, bro. Like we should go undefeated at Soldier Field if you want to be honest.
Yeah.
We beat Jacksonville. That's 9. I'm looking at the road games again. 49ers, Texans, and maybe the Pack. And if we sweep the North, man, come on.
Hey, you know what? I don't even care if we tie with the Texans. At this point, if we tie, I'm fine.
But you know what? I don't think we've ever beat the Texans though.
Oh, we have. We have.
We was like 0-4 against the Texans, and then like a couple games we should have won. I know that last game I went to in Houston when they had Cutler, we lost that game. I don't think we've ever beat the Texans.
We played them when they had Lovey once, right? I thought we beat them.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? You're right.
Yeah, we beat them twice, man.
Yeah.
We beat them with Justin. You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. But at the end of the day, if you really break this, and again, like you said, Samuel, because last year the line was atrocious, bro. And especially at the beginning, and then Luke Gessie versus Shane Waldron. Come on, man. I'm sorry, but my 19-year-old son can call a better run balance game based off skill set with who you got at quarterback now versus when you had Justin and you didn't really as you can see in Pittsburgh, what they do, they made Justin switch his footwork, opposite of what Luke Gessie had him doing. So what is that telling you? Arthur Phil said, guess what? That man didn't know what the hell he was talking about.
Right.
But I'm looking, hey, Caleb has a better assortment of skill set players than he ever had at USC.
Oh, yeah.
Any number one pick has ever had.
Hell, I'll tell you, I can go in there and throw at least 4,000 yards right now with the wide receiver.
At least 4,000.
Now, I'm gonna get you 4,000 with the wide receiver.
Hey, think about it. Last year, who's the number two? Who's the number 2 read in the offense last year? Think about this. Who's the number 2 last year behind DJ Moore?
Mooney.
Cole Kmet.
No, Cole Kmet. Hey, guess what?
He had a pretty decent season.
He did. He absolutely did.
But guess where Cole Kmet at right now, though?
4th, 5th, 4th,
4 or 5.
I'm gonna say because after
DJ,
after Keenan Allen, after Rome, then you got Swift. And when they run in 2 tight end sets, Gerald Everett is really a more complete tight end than Cole Kmet. So he done went from being number 2 in progressions to potentially number 5 or 6. Man, that's a great problem to have.
Yeah, but it actually works out for him because you can't double anyone, so you're leaving him one-on-one with everybody, a linebacker. So Cole Kmet should shine again. He should be in the Pro Bowl this year.
Man,
you can have 6 viable weapons on the field at once. But look at it that
targets.
way.
Yeah, his issue is he going to get targets?
And that's not even incorporating Tyler Scott, Velus Jones.
If Velus make the team,
you know what I'm saying?
And you got Roschon.
Gerald Everett.
Yeah.
Hey, don't sleep on Gerald Everett now, y'all.
Oh, he mentioned him already.
Oh, someone mentioned. Okay. I was like, we're the only team. The PFF came out with this the other day. Only team with two top 20 ranked tight ends, 3 top 32 receivers, 3 of them,
and the linemen and 2 linemen, right?
And 2. Yeah, we got 2 top 32 offensive tackles. Like it's. Hey. This is a new era of Chicago Bears football, and I'm
no longer are we the laughing stock.
No. Hey, this is what I wanted year in and year out for us to be relevant, bro. Think about it. Everybody's talking about us, bro. I go to Fox. I go listen to, and I don't even listen to Shady McCoy and them because it's whack. But guess what? Oh, they shouldn't have these. Here go Joy. Don't put the expectations on Caleb to get them to the playoff, but it can happen. No, it's going to happen. He got the right infrastructure supporting cast. You know, as long as he got 5 in front of him in unison, that would give him opportunity to get on that 3-step, 5-step, the ball coming out.
Coming out.
Like you got the right people.
Offensive line
DJ
stay
Moore,
healthy,
come on.
stand by.
DJ
If we
Moore,
stay
bam,
healthy, man,
he
I'm
gets
telling you.
separation.
Yeah.
Keenan Allen, he's a route god. And Doomsday 50-50. Come on, stop playing with me, baby.
And
Stop
you
playing
got
with
the
me
speed,
right now.
you got the speed with Bayless Jones. You know, you could throw him in there, little gadgets here and there, but
Bro, that's what I'm saying. The offensive versatility that we're gonna have, we've never, man, since I've been on this earth, I don't think we've ever had this type of offensive versatility.
no.
Well, yeah, Will, you know, you're right.
Swift gonna be my Swift is gonna be my other wide receiver. I'm gonna get you 4,000 yards this year.
Hey, I got hands, bro. I got hands. Hey, quick shout out to Just Another Year Chicago. Nick's in the building. He says, great comment here, by the way, because this might be true. You already know Will Wright's going to find his way onto Hard Knocks. You know he's going to be on there. We're going to be watching Hard Knocks one night, and Will is just going to walk up. There's going to be a cameraman, and Will's just going to walk up to somebody and dap him up. Hey, what's up? See him look at the camera like this.
Nah, baby.
Hey, all in the videos.
Yeah.
All in the video, baby. Hey, no Diddy. All in there, baby.
Bear claws and all. I hear you.
Oh yeah, that's what he gonna.
He gonna be clawing like, oh.
But look, though, we coming with the crew, though, baby. Hey, we coming with the crew. Like at the end of the day, like, look, to me, this is the perfect time to assimilate. And I'm talking about all Bear fans, all, you know, everybody like on the series tip. This is the opportunity of a lifetime for us to all come together and build something special on all fronts. Like seriously. Like that's what people fail to understand. Like this is an excellent opportunity because now you're gaining all these eyes because of what all these national syndicate shows are doing, giving us all this visibility now. So now is the opportunity for us to really maximize our potential on all fronts.
Is anybody planning on going into the Hall of Fame again? Because that's
absolutely, yeah. We throwing my man's a party. You already know it. We in the building. I'm trying to see how many of my guys want to go. You know what I mean? What you mean? We there.
All right.
Yeah,
it's good.
That's what it is. Hey, look at Will, man. He's dancing.
Yeah,
He's ready to watch the Timberwolves game.
If you're not pumped right now, like I tell people, you don't have a pulse.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like everything that's going on, because this is the time of year where you got that lull and it's dead. Because like baseball is cool, but I don't really watch baseball in October. I check in every once in a while, but everything else, you know, basketball gonna be over with pretty soon. So between June and July, man, that's like that lull period where everybody just sitting here itching and chomping at the bit. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody's fading. So that's why I say now is the time for us to ensure that we're in position to take full advantage of what's getting ready to happen. If you can't see what's getting ready to happen, guess what? I don't know what to tell you.
Put your glasses on.
But that's the thing. It's more than put your glasses on. You know what I'm saying? If like when the Bears are relevant, the whole NFL is great.
Of course. And this is the reason why they're giving them Hard Knocks. They're giving these primetime games going to London. You have to.
Yeah,
come on, baby.
Yeah, man.
Been a long time coming, but the time is now, man. And like I said, let's embrace it, man, and just be happy. Like, oh, there's so much good happening right now that, man, there's so much to be excited about. If you don't feel excited and antsy, like Will just said, man, and anxious for, I'm ready to get to freaking July right now, to be honest with you. I'm just ready to speed up my life ahead and get right to July. Just so
let's get to August 1st.
We can see everything. I'm ready to experience it all. I'm ready to read about everything that's happening and hopefully get a couple of chances to go down to a training camp, man. And man, I'm just so happy to see what's about to happen, man. And man, it should be great. It should be great. I got a quick question though for everyone, since Terry kind of brought this up a little bit, but how good do you think Caleb is going to be this year as far as, you know, yardage wise and touchdowns? And I'll just tell you what I'm thinking is a possible over under is I think 3,400 yards. It's 200 yards a game, guys. Like we not winning the games if we can't get over 200 yards a game.
Right.
Bro,
at 236 yards a game, he's over 4,000 yards. So
and that's a great stat line. But again, like I told y'all, I went back and analyzed every team we playing, And when you look at these secondaries we playing, realistically, outside, because man, he should feast on the Packers line. I know they got them two corners, Arnold and Whitestrow, but at the end of the day, in the Vikings, man, he should throw 200, 250 against all six of them. And then I know the 49ers got a tough secondary, but if Bosa ain't sacking him, we with the wide receiver
they can't stay healthy though. San Francisco can never stay healthy.
So with the wide receiver trio we got, bro, 200 yards a game, bro, I see 250, 300. So
you can get 200 yards with screen passes.
But that's what I'm saying. My proclamation is Caleb becomes in this year, because Stroud did it last year for the Texans. He'll be the Bears' first 4,000-yard passer.
Yeah,
and easily.
And rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year, because he's already the Vegas odds, but which I was already pinning that on him anyway. But I see at least 34 touchdowns, probably another 4 or 5 rushing, because he does have that skill set too. When they run in the I'm sure we're gonna run some what you call it, what Justin used to run a lot, the
design runs.
What you call it?
This quarterback design runs.
No. Like
the RPO.
Yeah, the RPO. I'm sure we're gonna run some because you guys Swift was great with that RPO action. So I can see real, like you said, 4,200 yards passing. I can see 33 touchdowns, probably 8. Because he don't throw. One thing about Caleb, he don't throw a lot of interceptions though. That's one thing I give him. I give him credit for that. So I said about 8 interceptions, another 4 on the ground, and then, like I said, I see us actually winning the North. I do. I know the Packers improved, but at the end of the day,
so did the Bears.
And when you look at these teams, the Packer killer really the last 3-4 years has been Aaron Jones. He's with the Vikings now. Mm-hmm. And I'm not afraid of Aaron Jones with the Vikings versus the Packers. You know what I'm saying? Because Jordan Love really fed off of Aaron Jones. If people go back and look at them 2 games against that screen, man, the biggest play, that arrow route to Aaron Jones when he beat TJ Edwards, that screen, like, that's not Josh Jacobs. So if I got to deal with a running back coming downhill, guess what? I give us the advantage because we got Famo, Big Bill, Dex, and Zach on that interior that's going to be ready to stuff him. And I'm not worried about
trim down Dex.
Yeah. Look, the law firm, baby. Yeah. So at the end of the day, when you look, and then Detroit, come on, baby, you already know that our boy Jared Goff's gonna give us 4 or 5 next year at a minimum. We're gonna get at least 4 or 5 picks out of Dr. Goff. That's gonna happen. So when you look at who we playing, secondary wise, the Colts, they secondary don't scare nobody. The Texans, like I said, they all right. Titans, the Rams, the Panthers. Now, I will say now, caveat, the Panthers normally have a pretty good defense. I'm not going to lie about that.
Yeah, but they let their best player walk out.
Yeah, Brian Burns, Florida State. Jacksonville, they got Josh Allen. Outside of Josh Allen, who they got? Commanders? Talk to me. Who my boy Forbes back there wearing $150? Come on, who he gonna man up on?
Well, the Commanders gave us their best player, so we'll take it.
That's what I'm saying. Cardinals. Look, the Cardinals' whole defensive line is a bunch of Bears. They got number 75 is Samoan we drafted. They got
Justin Jones. They got him.
And they got the boy from Delaware. What's his name?
I know who you're talking about. Yeah, I forgot his name.
He's on 2018 Bears. He played defensive tackle.
All those false starts.
Yes. So I'm looking at, bro, the Patriots. Come on, stop playing. Really? Stop it.
Yeah, the Patriots are starting from scratch now, man.
By the time we play all these games, like the Seahawks in week 15, 16, Caleb would have enough time under his belt to adjust to the and that's my 2 things I'm worried about, and I'm not really worried about him adjusting to the speed of the NFL. Because I remember when Justin first came in, he was like, "Oh, this ain't
too slow."
Yeah. And after that hit against Buffalo in preseason, it's like he ate them words.
He woke up.
But the honest to God truth, the key for us is the trenches on both sides, getting pressure on the quarterback and protecting the quarterback. Like that's the only thing at this point realistically concerns me. Will we consistently get pressure on the quarterback, and will we consistently protect the quarterback? But because Caleb will hold the ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? If things don't come open right away. So I'm just praying that his clock speeds up and the ball comes out, because somebody like Keenan Allen, he gonna be where he's supposed to be. DJ Moore gonna be where he's supposed to be. Rome gonna be where he's supposed to be. But you got to get him the ball.
Yeah,
That's why I think they can be coached out of him, man. I think that him holding on to the ball was he didn't have a lot of weapons.
none.
To the ball, I got
Exactly.
nobody to pass it to. These guys aren't getting open, so this is going to be different this year, and that's why I'm not as concerned about the offensive line as I originally was, just because of the weapons. The ball's going to come out a lot faster, and then having a competent play caller, somebody who's going to recognize this and say, "Hey, I need to chip over here with a running back, or I need to bring in an extra tight end if I'm going out deep on these deep routes." And someone's going to be competent in that manner to protect the quarterback to allow him to be successful. And we got, like we said, the wide receivers that are going to get open, and he's just going to have to get the ball out on time. And I think he's going to be open to that. He says he wants to play on script, and that's going to be part of that process of him playing on script. So I'm extremely confident that that's going to happen in due time. I think it's probably a few weeks, but you make a good point about the defensive line, man. If I have any concern about the team, it's just where the pressure is going to come from on the defensive line outside of Sweat. We all are high on Dexter, on Big Dex, man. He's looking great. Like I just talked about, guys' maturation process from year 1 to year 2 and how they change their body compositions. And we see it already with him. This dude looks amazing. Like he just had a wonderful offseason. But how is that going to translate to the field? We can't say until we actually see it. So I really feel like we need another body, another veteran body, somebody who we know can do it on that defensive line to just make me feel great about them.
Yeah, see, he chiseled up. Hey, but Samo, you're right. But I think that's what the Bears are gonna. The Bears are definitely gonna get maybe two veterans. And some people are not keen on the Bears going back to get Iniki Ngakoue, but there are a few other defensive end veterans that we have that can definitely come in and make a difference on this Bears team. And who wouldn't want to play for the Bears right now? You know what I mean? So especially now, you're going to be on Hard Knocks, like we talked about before. This is marketing for every person, just like Chad Ochocinco did. So now folks know that the Bears are there, and the Bears have the money. That's the biggest thing. We still have money to spend, so it wouldn't be difficult for us to get a defensive end to come out and play for the Bears.
Well, like at the end of the day, it's like I'm sitting back. We're gonna look at these post June 1st cuts and see if we can get a defensive tackle or edge. Because, like I said, like Unique, I think he would be a good third down. But last year he left a lot to be deserved. And the guy I was talking about earlier was Bilal Nichols, like the Arizona Cardinals.
Oh, I forgot
they
about
got Bilal Nichols. They got Kirish Tonga, the guy we drafted, and they got Justin Jones. So that's 3 former. Defensive linemen. So once we play them, we already know how we can attack the interior defensive line of the Arizona Cardinals. But at the end of the day, when you look at what we have now, bro, it's like you can't help but be excited because we probably got the best secondary in the league too. Because Kevin Byard, he's an upgrade over Eddie Jackson. That boy, he likes to hit.
They did not blink twice with letting Jackson go. Eddie Jackson. They didn't blink twice. And you said probably a lot of people are saying the Bears do have the best secondary.
But think how much more, and we got the 2 best linebackers, 3 if you throw in Jack Sanborn. But when you look at TJ and Tremaine, look, you got the hitman and you got Predator. Them boys, look, they can hit and get picks. So it boils down to pressure. Like we have to go get another
defensive end.
And another interior defensive lineman. We have to. And
I do want to set your mind at ease just a little bit on that. You got to remember too, like when Samo said you can coach holding the ball out of Caleb Williams, you can coach a lot of the things that Dexter and Pickens had issues with last year. And we went ahead and did one of the best things I think of the offseason was sign Eric Washington as defensive coordinator.
Yes.
And his specialty is defensive line.
Yep.
Great. So there you go.
That's a good point, Walt.
I'm not against going out and getting a Calais Campbell, who I'm actually pretty high on, like some people out there.
Yeah, I'll take him.
But I do want to jump back really quick to what you were talking about with the offense, man. Like we haven't had a time where we have at least one viable weapon at every level of the offensive play field. from behind the line with DeAndre Swift to, in the flat with Gerald Everett and Cole Kmet, and all three levels of the passing game with DJ Moore, Rome Odunze, Keenan Allen. That wasn't here last year. So having a 4,000-yard passer once he gets his feet under him up to speed isn't out of the realm of possibility at all.
Yeah, well, and you know what? I wonder what was Justin Fields' passing yards last year were, because if he was able to whatever his passing yards were, and we didn't have that talent, just imagine what Caleb Williams could do with that talent. So
I mean,
if
Justin
Justin
Fields
threw for 2,600 yards or wherever it may be,
25-62.
Yeah, so he threw that with pretty much DJ Moore. DJ Moore had 1,200 of those yards, right?
Yep.
So just imagine now, getting three other weapons that you could throw to. You should be able to get 4,000. And wouldn't that be crazy if a rookie comes in here and breaks the record? That would be something, huh?
It absolutely would.
It
It could happen. Like we say, 236 yards a game is all he needs to get.
The only way it don't happen is if in December
the average
game is just super snowy, which I don't.
But if you look at the games, though, you said in December, you got to look at it too. I looked at our there's a couple games that we play in the dome, and yeah, we played the Vikings and Detroit in domes back to back. So those are two dome teams, and then we go to the last two games are in Seattle, in Chicago, and at Lambeau. So yeah, anything can go there.
Man, everybody talks about it being so cold at Soldier Field, and you probably can't get to that 4,000. What's going on in Buffalo?
It's the wind. It's not
What's going on in Buffalo?
It's that wind off the lake. Man.
It's the wind.
You're right. That makes
coming off the lake, but
coming off of that lake, it does.
If there's another place that's close to it, it's Cleveland.
Yes,
also coming off the lake, and they've thrown for 4,000 yards there.
Yeah,
we can do it here. It is harder though. That is something that people don't think about when they just say, "Hey, the Bears are the only team that never had a 4,000-yard passer." Well, we're also one of only two teams that set on a lake and have wind flying off it. And Greg Gabriel's talked about this before, that they had practices back when he was with the Bears where they had to stop doing what they were doing because they couldn't complete the passes in practice because the wind was so bad. So if you can't practice passing it, it almost leads the coaches to run the ball more, which is something that just happened a lot in Chicago over the history, but it's going to change. I'm knocking on wood, but
Caleb need to get at least 2,800 before we hit all these home games.
Exactly. And it can happen. It's like we said, it's wide open for him. If anybody can do it, I think it's him. He has the arm talent to do it. Everything doesn't have to be a deep pass because we have the wide receivers that can take a short pass and go hit their heads on the goalpost too. We got to remember that. So it can definitely happen this year.
Well, I'm gonna make another prediction. We're gonna have 3 wide receivers that do it 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I said that. I said that as soon as I saw that we had signed Keenan Allen.
They got to stay healthy. That's the biggest thing.
That's the key.
Yeah.
Staying healthy is the key, and I think Keenan had a big toe injury last year, and he missed about 6 games. But when he played, though, Lord have mercy,
we have 3 1,000 yards. Hell, no telling what Cole Kmet's going to do then.
Exactly,
he's going to be open a lot. Trust me. You look at his red zone targets. Now he'll probably get more touchdowns as well because he's gotten quite a few touchdowns. Yeah. But if you have to guard 3 wide receivers, somebody's got to be open.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying.
So that's where Cole Kmet comes into play.
Kmet to get about 500-600 because Gerald Everett gonna get about 300-400. Then Swift out the backfield gonna get about 200-300. Like that's what I'm saying. When you look at the breakdown, because everybody's a viable option, and then you throw in another 200 for Tyler Scott, another 150-200 for Baylor. So all that's gonna add up.
All right. We're over the yardage, guys. We're over the yardage. We're gonna wrap it up. This isn't talk about Caleb Williams yardage all night.
Everybody getting excited.
One thing to the chat. I do think DeAndre Swift is a better fit than Derrick Henry. I'm not really into the Derrick Henry stuff. He was always going the Ravens. Other than that, I do want to we will be back more often. And I want to say something about Chris as well. I want to say, man, it's tough. Life is short, and you never know what's going to happen. And especially with it being such an exciting time to be a Bears fan, like, never take anything for granted, guys. Keep your head up. And to end the show, we will play Chris's intro one more time. Chris made this song for us. I love the song, and we're always going to play it on this show and dedicate it to Chris. I don't have it in the description now, but Samo, if you send me the GoFundMe for Chris, I'm going to link it in the description below. If anybody does want to donate to Chris's family, we'll have the GoFundMe in the link below. And do you guys have any final words before I throw up the bear claw?
Thanks for that, Swift. Thanks for that reminder.
Yes, sir. That was phenomenal, Swift, boy. And it's an exciting time to be a Bears fan. And like I said, we'll dedicate every show to Chris because you're a part of this, brother. You played a vital role in building this thing. The excitement in your voice, you know, the Bears play, you know, regardless of how they performed on the field, like just like with all of us, you know, it was a part of our fabric that made us feel proud and helped us, you know, on a day-to-day basis to go out here and feel like we can conquer the world. So, you know, again, brother, keep shining and looking over us, and we're going to keep praying for you and the family and do what we can to make sure that it be a smooth transition. So yeah, let's go, brothers.
Hey, Terry, thanks again for joining us as well, man. If you want to throw up a bear claw as well, man, we're throwing up bear claws.
Hey, I'm all in.
Hey, Terry said he all in, bro. Terry said he official MOD now, boy.
I'm all in, baby. I'm all
right,
in.
well, we're going to throw this song out here for Chris, and bear down, everyone. We'll be back next time, guys. Much love.
Squad up.
Squad up.
Yes.
Squad up.
Monsters! Squad up! Boy, monsters of the gridiron, and we're coming for you. Squad up! Squad up! Squad up! Squad up! Squad up! Yeah, boy, monsters of the gridiron, and we're coming for you. Squad up! Squad up! Squad up! Squad up! Squad up! Yeah.
Welcome to the Monsters of the Gridiron podcast.